I'm Nigel Carr. I'm part of the Ulster Sports Museum Association, working to try and establish a permanent sports museum in Northern Ireland. We're in the Linen Hall Library currently. It's the latest location for our travelling exhibition. An exhibition which started on the road just over 2 years ago, began just across the way at City Hall. Since then it's been to Bangor, Armagh, Ballymoney, Strabane, Londonderry, and on each occasion as well it's often been augmented by local people bringing along local artefacts as well, which really brings not only the regional feel to things, because this is an Ulster Sports Museum for the 9 counties of Ulster, but it also brings a lot of the local perspective as well, because one of the things that we're keen to try and demonstrate is that for many people in your town, in your street in many instances, have been successful in a sporting context, and we want to both celebrate the past but inspire young people for the future, not just in sport but in all walks of life, whether it be it science, technology, business and sport. We've had many national champions, European champions, world champions, and Olympic champions, and people particularly like Mary Peters, who's the president of the Ulster Sports Museum Association, but others as well, like Jimmy Kirkwood in the hockey and many other Olympians as well. A lot of our boxers that have excelled in the last Commonwealth Games, and we hope will do really well this time round in London 2012.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Linen Hall Library. I simply want to say thank you all for coming, and can I introduce a very good friend of Linen Hall Library, Dame Mary Peters.
We just dropped off here to join with Nigel and Trevor, who are also supporters of the museum, to make it a special day. And I hope that you'll enjoy reading the history of all the people that are depicted in the words, photographs and on the television screens, because we have such a legacy of wonderful sport here. For a small community of 1.5 million people, we have 4 Olympic gold medalists, lots of world, European and junior champions, and we must never forget the success that they have made over the years, because it's the inspiration for the next generation.
This great sense of history of who we are, how we arrived here, what helped shape us. And some people might wonder why the Ulster Sports Museum Travelling Roadshow should come here, but it's a very fundamental part of our character, of our society, of what we are about, is our sporting tradition and our sporting history, which we have so much to be proud of. Well, today's about the Ulster Sports Museum bringing its Travelling Roadshow to the Linen Hall Library in Belfast. And Linen Hall Library, it has all the history of Belfast and Ulster and Northern Ireland, and it tells us so much about who we are and why we're here and what helped shape us.
The museum is an idea at this moment, and we'll have heard that funding isn't there, space isn't there, but if you think about it in the round, the importance of sport to any nation, but a small nation, a small people, is immense. And it tells you a whole lot about discipline, it tells you about achieving, it tells you about interacting with other people, your neighbours, people worldwide. There's so much, I think, to be learned and understood about the ethos of sport and how it actually feeds into the wider picture, into real life, that I do believe that in some form, in the not too distant future, there will be a museum of sport in Northern Ireland.
Our real hope and desire for this, some of the things that we're doing are trying to establish a website. We're also keeping an oral archive, so we've been out interviewing around about 60 different people to try and make sure that we have on record for the future, for posterity, their views of what it was like in 1972 for Mary Peters, or for Jack Kyle winning the Triple Crown in 1948. I mean, those are the things that we're working on, but what we would really love to see is a permanent location here to really celebrate our sporting past and try and inspire our youngsters for the future.